So we're back, and we're no longer in Brightstone Cove, Sildora, because spiders too difficult.
And scary.
So instead of getting Skell that item and having him go I'll read off what it is. I have it on another character, and I've gotten the thing, and we can just go ahead and see what it says. It's up here on screen, but it says this is for beating Duke's dear Freya in New Game Plus, either by going through a New Game cycle or just bonfire asceticing that bonfire. It is the Old Pale Drake soul.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, the primal lords that you fight in New Game cycles drop an additional soul, which is a reference to one of the lords from Dark Souls 1.
And the pale drake would be Mr. No Legs, Blindy Science.
Seath the Scaleless.
Yeah, that one.
The great white dragon, who apparently you forgot about when I said that the first time, so that's cool.
No, it dawned on me. It took me a moment. I'm a slow learner.
We have fought the Lost Sinner, and of course in the Lost Sinner's boss cutscene you see a chaos bug crawl into her mask. Therefore, when you beat the Lost Sinner in New Game Plus, you get the secondary soul, Old Witch Soul.
The four Lord souls to fill the Lord vessel.
Now,
usher in and yep.
Now, as you can see on screen, not you, Skull. As you can see on screen, they don't have any lore associated with them. It just says soul of whatever. Like, it doesn't say anything about that character from Dark Souls 1. It doesn't have any additional insight. It does say, "This once magnificent soul continues to exert influence over the land, even after the eons have reduced it to these remnants." So, that says that it's been around a while, right? And you're like, oh, doesn't this mean that there's no painted world theory? And I say, maybe. I'm not going to make up some bullshit about how it doesn't potentially invalidate that. But here's the thing. My theory about this game, and we'll see it as we get towards the end of the game and the expansions. My theory about this game being in the painted world doesn't set it after Dark Souls 1. It sets it after Dark Souls 1 Artorias of the Abyss. Specifically after the Chosen Undead defeats Manus at the end of that expansion. And again, that's getting way ahead of ourselves, but
yeah,
but
that's a little.
Keep that in mind, and we'll come back to this in a while.
When last we left off, we had fought Armored Spider, but 2.
Armored Spider, but 2, yeah.
And now we're back here in Majula.
Yes,
we've
come back to Majula, and we're standing at the trash pit.
We're gonna go dive into a hole. Won't that be fun?
Bloodstain doesn't have anything on it. Okay. So yeah, this is... You can get some dialogue around Majula. It's like a pit where everybody throws their trash. They decided that they were just going to dig a big, nicely masoned pit right in front of these houses. Or somebody decided that they were going to put the front entrance of their house right outside of this pit. So, bad decisions either way.
No OH&S here in Majula.
For the American folks, that's OSHA. Same thing, but the letters are different.
I think it's different again here. Like, it don't make no sense. So, ladders.
Yeah, we talked to Laddersmith Gilligan here, and we bought some ladders.
Hey,
I really appreciate that Gilligan puts, like, 2 misleading ladders in, just, you know,
what?
in case
Well,
you want to get
Yes, my
killed.
tongue.
Neither of them are misleading.
Oh.
So, the first one,
Mm-hmm.
and as you can see up in the corner there, up under my status bar, got the Silvercat ring equipped. So this ladder sucks, right? But you drop down and you're on this, where you can pick up some items.
Well, I'm gonna do that. I want that item.
It's a radiant
Oh, look
life
at that
gem.
damage. Oh, that was worth it. More dropping to do, I suppose.
Yep, just keep dropping. So yeah, one ladder does go below the first 2 items, but then of course you don't get them.
Mm-hmm. That looks like... Oh, no, wait, there's a crossbeam. Okay. Alright, we can do this.
Don't believe the crossbeam saves you.
It does not. Thank you, Dark Souls. So, let's talk about video game design, right?
Yeah, let's. Somebody died right at this ladder, and it's not giving you the prompt to use the ladder.
Yep. So, that was a pretty funny haha got you moment. I feel like that wasn't telegraphed well enough, but maybe I'm just bitter because I died. Oh, that's right. The input for sliding is different in Dark Souls 2 from Dark Souls 1.
Yes, should be noted we've recently been playing the Dark Souls 1 remaster, mainly to remind us of better times. So, once you get down a bit...
Oh, you can't go
Skill.
back up once you've come on this ladder. Where do I go from here? Surely not onto that platform.
There is one that you can... If you get a running start, you can jump to it.
Yep, I got it.
And I forget, I think this is the one we want to go to.
The piece of stone, or do we want to go further down?
The stone.
Okay. Alrighty.
Yup, this is it.
Fun. I see a shiny down there. I'll come back for it. Grave of Saints.
Are you ready?
Aye, aye, Captain.
So you'll notice that the entrance is a big rat carving. It's not a skull because it has ears.
See, you say rat, and that dashes my hopes, because I thought it was like a jackal.
Ah, well, I am sorry. Yeah, there's a zombie here.
Shall you summon me?
Yeah, we have to go in a little bit. I forget if you can
Okay.
actually... Wow, he still lived. Fascinating.
Prisoner's waistcloth. Excellent.
I do forget how far we have to go in. So this, this is a real heck of a place.
It's a big underground well. Oh! A rat. Oh, excellent. Guess what my sword can't hit if I swing it normally?
Is it the rats?
It's the rats. I would really like to not get poisoned, thank you, if at all possible. Ah, yes. that good Dark Souls thing where you change your direction of your swing. Okay, I'm in the thing with the water. Let's see if I can put my summon sign down.
Ready for more rats?
Ooh, an item. It'll be another gotcha, I'm sure. Oh, you can't. Climb
some
over this
repair
hill?
powder. That'll be nice. Alright, Pharaoh's Lock stones on the floor. I do forget what some of these do.
Well, I've got a Pharos Lockstone, so I'm going to find out in a moment.
Yeah, it does give you one. I know that this one right here puts this,
Oh!
lowers this
Hello,
bridge.
rats. Hello, lots and lots of rats. Lots and lots of rats that don't make any noise.
Clickety-clack down the track. It's lots and lots of rats.
Oh, there's multiple Pharos Lockstone thingies.
These rats are stone.
Don't know what that just did.
These
Let's
rats
do the
are
other
not.
one. Oop.
So yes, these rats petrify.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, so be careful.
That sounds awful.
Whisper of Death. What's that?
Can I take that Pharos Lockstone
Despair?
back out? No.
Maybe
So
I
what?
can't
That
read.
trap. I placed a Pharos Lockstone in the wall, and now there's water.
Hmm.
I assume it will kill me if I even so much as look at it for too long. That was clever of me. Across the bridge, I suppose.
Yeah. So looks like we need a second lockstone. Do we have one? That's the question. We do. We have 8.
Aha, I knew it. I knew it. Ow, ow. Children. It's not fight. Oh good, they retreat.
Oh, look, a ladder. Suffice to say, I don't spend a whole lot of time in this area.
I've never been here, so don't mind me while I get to grips with things, I suppose. Whisper of Despair. Torch.
Oh, look, another bonfire.
Ah, I see a bridge. I know not how to extend it.
So beyond that water that you put down, there is a cove with a little ladder.
Well, I guess that's the only way I've got to go. Time to run through that water and hope it doesn't kill me.
It does not.
Well, then what was its purpose?
I don't remember.
Truly, this is a confusing video game.
Isn't it just?
Oh, another lockstone. I don't think I have... Oh, I have one left. Ah. That drops. Okay. To what purpose?
So this area I'm in, and Skull, you're not in here. But this area I'm in, It's got a lot of large skeletons. Some of them are chained to their burial slabs. It's interesting.
Probably.
Oh, there they are.
Oh, I think I see, yeah, I see where you have made your way. Ooh, a homeward bone. I guess I can't roll through there, huh? No, but that 8 million rats can certainly come out if I trigger them somehow.
Everybody loves rats.
I mean, I'm fond of the giant rat that makes all of the rules.
So it seems that, Well, you know what? Let's do a bit of a jump cut here while I spend all these precious, precious souls. And we'll try this out. Alright, let's, give this a shot. I don't remember what the summon rules are here, but, let's see if we can find out.
There doesn't appear to be summon rules.
Nope. Welcome to rats.
Oh, yep. There certainly is quite a few of them. I wish I had a faster weapon, to be honest with you.
I bet you do.
Oh, good. And there's rat statues everywhere, so my blade catches on them. You know, just in case I didn't need all that durability. Ow! I keep getting stuck on the rat statues. This is bad.
That happens.
Oh, and I can't hit any of them unless I lock onto them. Cool. Oh, the health bar finally appeared. There's a lot of these guys.
Yep.
Oh, cool. That didn't hit anything. Nah, it's fine. This is fine. Oh, good. The statues, they protect them. It's a whole thing they got going on.
I have been bitten to death by rats.
So this is, not great.
No, this is, it's awful. This is, one of Dark Souls 2's famous, let's just throw lots of enemies at the player.
Victory achieved.
Oh, congratulations. I died, so we're gonna watch, I'm gonna watch something for a little bit.
I'm gonna go spend these while you deal with this.
Yeah, feel free. Golly. Where is the authority? Are you it? No. You're it. Poisoned. But we're good. And all the rats run away.
Excellent.
Because you have proven that you are good at herding rats. Not hurting, herding, like herding cats, but This is how you join the Rat King Covenant.
Leave this place, human.
Hmm.
We have no time for thy kind. Humans bring nothing but filth.
I'd be inclined to agree with his suggestion that I leave, but I want to get his dialogue.
Is that a rat tail, human? Thou'st one of mine rat burrows conquered. This will not go unnoticed. Rejoice, for the right to serve me is now thine. Since thou'rt human still, permit me ask, wilt thou thy human soul surrender and pledge thyself to me? Swearest thou by the sweet-tempered sludge that laps at our bosoms?
No.
Of course. Humans are all alike. Get thee gone. We will tolerate thy stench no longer.
Yeah, the last time I gave a rat tail to a mythological being, it gave me a full party class change.
Ha!
Sludge. No, sludge? Not the same thing. Anyway, after that you go down there. So, this area, the Grave of Saints, it's weird because there are all these giant skeletons, and that's cool, but there's nothing about the giant skeletons in the area. The area is about rats, but not the giant skeletons.
Hmm.
And I just, not entirely sure.
Oh, I joined the Rat King Covenant, by the way. I can't remember if I was in a specific covenant for a specific reason, or... it'll be fine.
So, past him,
Mm-hmm.
you drop down some stuff.
Ah, I see. We have looped around. See, look, we made the level loop, so it's like Dark Souls 1, really.
Oh, absolutely. And again, that fountain, or whatever it is, you could just climb over that.
Just take a big steppy.
Just like...
That's gonna be a big drop. Ow, my knees.
So let me know when you're on this little crosswalk thing.
Yeah, I'm on the crosswalk thingy.
It's been a while since we've seen these great to empty hallways terminating in black fog.
Hmm. I'm assuming that wooden bridge will probably break if I land on it.
I forget, to be honest.
Well, let's find out. I didn't land on it anyway, we're good.
Oh, nice.
Although
Crystal
I can't get to that
lizard.
chest. I'm sure there's nothing cool in that chest. I'm sure I don't need it.
Oh, okay, the crystal lizard just went away. Let's follow this stony path. And we can see that we're just at the bottom of the pit in Majula. That's it. That's all there is. So yeah, if you'd just not gone to the Grave of the Saints, you could have just come down here, and then you go through a winding, featureless corridor.
To what purpose?
Well, you get out into this area. But be careful jumping across that bridge.
Hmm.
If you don't make it, there's some enemies.
I did make it.
Good work.
I think getting that shiny item is going to be the hard part. Ash Knuckle Ring.
Yes.
Fascinating.
So, let's see, what does that one do? We had the Bracing Knuckle Ring, and the Ash Knuckle Ring increases petrification resistance.
Cool.
Would have been nice for the boss
Yeah.
fight we just did.
I don't need that. Uh-oh. Well, I fell into the pit. Here come the enemies.
And let's see if I can make this. I don't believe that I
Are these
can.
those exploding mummy guys? Yes.
Yeah, I cannot make it. Yeah, they are the exploding mummies. And they come side to side. You can just dodge them if you want.
Yep. You're gonna want to review my footage later.
Alright. Oopsies.
That was,
Wrong lock on.
That was terrifying. That was... Yep. I guess I have to choose a hallway now.
Yeah, which would you like to choose?
Looking at where the chest was, I think I will go left
You'll go left
from the chest.
from the chest. That's what you meant by that. I couldn't parse that in time.
Great heal. Alright, well, I guess I have to go right now. The illusion of choice.
Right? So yeah, some more knee-high, thigh-high water. No rusted iron ring in this game.
A shame. Truly. Oh, excellent.
So we recently went through Blight Town, right?
Yes, we did. In the Dark Souls remaster? That's
in Dark
correct.
Souls Remaster.
Yep.
So this is this game's part of this game's Blight Town, Valley of Defilement, Poison Cave, for the Kingsfield fans out there.
You must have a poison swamp of some kind. It's a Souls game.
Oh, what's weird is we already had that, right, with Earthen Peak.
Well, we did, didn't we?
But now we're coming down to something very thematically similar to Blight Town in the sense that there's wooden platforms with ladders and it's very vertical. The difference being that there's no detail. This is gray wood. And that's about it.
Who built this down here? Why did they build it here?
Yeah, that's the thing. Blight Town was a series of very rickety areas created by like the outsiders of Lordran society. You know, it was at the base of the sewers. It was at the base of the massive wall that surrounded the city. It was a place where the people who, you know, it was garbage. It was a garbage dump, and people decided to live there. The area we're coming up on is similar. You know, it's like Valley of Defilement. It's like Blight Town in that sense, but it is the gutter.
Literally. Oh, and I'm already being poison spat at me from the statues?
Yep.
Okay. I was worried that was a dart shooter. Do they constantly do that?
Yes. You can break them.
Oh, really? Huh.
So... the gutter. The gutter. Take a look. This is what you're gonna see the entire time.
Nothing?
Nothing. It's featureless. It's drab. There's nothing to it. Literally nothing.
I can see a fog door and a bonfire, and that's all I can really see. I can't even see where I need to drop down to not die.
Right?
can I even safely drop down from here?
Yeah, if you go to the very end of the first place, it's downhill a bit.
Well, I fell down and then fell through the floor, but I found a bonfire.
Oh, that's good. Are you still alive to use the bonfire?
Yes.
Sounds good. Let me drop my sign for you. So, Skell, ready for the least inspired part of Dark Souls 2, which is saying a lot after Hyde's Tower of Flame and Iron Keep?
I mean, at least Hyde's Tower of Flame was nice to look at. This is just grey.
Everybody loves platforms. So here's the thing about the gutter.
Mm-hmm.
The gutter is the one single place in Dark Souls 2 where a torch is helpful. Because if you come over here...
Whoa! Bit late.
Never mind.
You were saying?
There are little sconces all around where you can light torches. And...
Oh, I see.
You know, they provide light. That's about it. What we're seeing here is the entirety of the gutter.
Zombie men in wooden boxes.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
some sort of weird thing up there.
there sure is. So let's compare this to Blighttown, which this is obviously trying to be the same thing. Of, you know, these rickety platforms people have cobbled together where they live. Because they're the trash people, I guess.
Yeah.
But where Blighttown was rich in color, ugly, disgusting-looking color that made you feel gross, but color. Had greens and purples and some red, definitely some very warm brown tones.
The wood especially.
Yeah.
Instead of this weird drab grey thing they've got going on.
Yeah, this is it. This is it. This is what you get. And sure, you know, let's continue our praise from Brightstone, Seldora, Bright Cove, Seldora. There was an effort made here to give a sense of place, right? You have these trunks and the stools and there's blankets, and it's like, okay, people lived here. Sure, there's a sack of potatoes.
So I'll give them that, but then I have to ask the question, right, this was constructed down here. When, how, and how did they get the materials down here?
Well, I'd say, don't you understand, it's the same thing as Blighttown and Valley of Defilement. It's, you know, where the trash was thrown, because we do get here from the trash chute in Ujula.
Okay, that looks
but
more like...
But, remember, we are not at the bottom of the trash chute. We are at the bottom of a broken stone walkway that leads through a very nicely masoned and upkept stone tunnel.
See, something I want to point out about the construction of this place is that these are very large, boxy platforms and structures, yes?
Yes.
Blighttown was a bunch of, like, narrow-ass, rickety bridges where you'd walk on them and they would wobble from the weight of your gait, right? Like, Blighttown looked like it was built by a bunch of garbage people who didn't know how to build things. This place, you know, looks like it had some urban planning going on.
Yeah, at least a little bit.
And, ow, hey, rude.
It's, this one, I believe.
That's locked. This certainly looks like something a bunch of uneducated zombie folk could build, but it's much more grandiose, right? It's much more stable looking. Like, when you're going through Blighttown, you don't feel safe just walking on the wood. Here, ironically, you're less safe because you can just fall through the floor in places, as I've demonstrated by accident. But it looks way more sturdy, right? You don't feel like you could fall off it at any second.
Right.
Which is why it's surprising when you do. Whereas in Blighttown, you're surprised that you don't.
And even then in Blighttown, you're going up and down a lot. You are traveling largely in a horizontal area, but you're going down just as often. This is like, oh yeah, every so often you climb a ladder, you jump down a hole. It's much more open. It doesn't have the same cramped feeling that Blighttown does.
It doesn't. It's very spacious.
Yeah.
Almost luxurious. What the hell is this?
Large.
Is it supposed to be a dog?
Yeah. They're very scary. I would not let them touch you.
Yeah, I'm gonna avoid that if at all possible.
Unfortunately, yes, I put my shield away, or my torch away, so...
Like, look at the size of some of these rooms.
Yeah, this is larger than, like, a 2-car garage. And...
This is bigger than my house.
So, the enemies down here are zombies.
Yes.
Blighttown had unique enemies in the trash goblins and the ogres. And they were all very thematic to the area, like these gross things. These are just the same zombies we've fought before.
No, literally. They're the exact same zombies. Whereas in Blighttown, they were these weird, deformed people that probably got that way from living near horrible, toxic, magical refuse all their lives. But it's okay, we got bodies in pots.
And
Why are the bodies in the pots?
It's just another area where it's very clear that not even the graphical downgrade is what makes Dark Souls 2 look so bad. It's just a lack of vision and a lack of art design or art direction.
Well, I mean, here they've even gone so far as to try and conceal the actual visual aspect of the area from you.
Yeah, whoops. Ah. I'm not even gonna bother curing poison, it goes down so quickly in this game.
Where are we supposed to go from here? I don't understand. Surely we're not supposed to jump onto that bridge.
No.
Oops, I fell.
No. From up here you can drop down.
Oh, I see, I see. I mean, this is at least something. A rope bridge.
Yeah. But it really demands the question, why have a rope bridge separating two very far apart platforms when you have so much room and clearly so much material? Watch out behind you, by the way.
Oh, I see him. Uh-oh. Hang on. I'll get there. His jaw opens very wide.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Like, this doesn't look like a place that was built out of desperate necessity. This looks like a place that was built, if that statement makes any sense.
Someone's weird weekend project. Like,
yeah.
Oh, my kids said they wanted a playhouse, and there's this giant cave underneath Majula that no one's using.
You can tell they're trying to evoke the entrance to New Londo, with all the hollows just sort of hanging around.
I guess. I don't know what they're trying to do with this area. That's my reaction to a lot of Dark Souls 2. I don't know what they were trying to do here.
It's difficult to tell. Oh, wow. Okay, hold on. I want that item. Toggle. There we go. It's a torch. Is there any way to drop down from up here? Not particularly. Okay.
Just where the ladder would take you, anyway. This is like a fan of Dark Souls said, wow, I really like that Blighttown area. I want to make one for my student project.
I mean, from what we know about this game's construction, that might not be so far from the truth.
I don't want to keep harping on it, but God, it really... Dark Souls 2 feels like a fan game. Just that the experience is not present.
Have we said it before on camera that this is like a perfectly fine game on its own in
Oh,
a vacuum?
yeah. I mean, I've always said as much, even in my earliest, like, written thoughts on Dark Souls 2. I've always called it a perfectly competent video game, and I think it's even a better video game
I'm okay.
than Dark Souls 1. I think its systems are a little cleaner. I think it knows more of what it wants to do mechanically. Dark Souls 1 has a lot of strange design decisions in places. Resistance being a stat. And Dark Souls 2 makes an effort to clean a lot of that up. Granted, the adaptability just unnecessary.
Should I drop down there? Is there even anything worth getting?
I don't remember.
Let's just continue.
I think that's back to a previous area. No, there's an item in a pot.
There is, but surely it can't be anything worth having.
I don't know. So yeah, I'd say Dark Souls 2 mechanically is probably a better video game than Dark Souls 1, but in everything else,
it's certainly been more clear-cut for me to play, you know, build my character, select my gear, that sort of thing. Which is certainly doing it some favors, but yeah, the art direction... And the thing is, we could sit here and keep dunking on it. The art direction isn't even necessarily terrible. It's not good, right? Like,
it's uninspired.
It's uninspired, right?
But like, you know, if I put my torch away, I've been lighting all these little sconces. This looks neat.
Yeah.
If this was how it was originally, it would be fine. It would still look like a bad Blighttown knockoff. But, you know, it's a bit more... This is intimidating, right? This is like, wow, look at this maze that I can barely see parts of from so far away. What's out there? When it's all dark, it's just like,
we weren't even
annoying.
given that visual. We were just given a big black abyss. This game can certainly deliver some grandiose visuals when it chooses to, right?
Yeah.
But for the most part, as you've said, it's very uninspired. I feel like after this is all said and done, we'll have to insert like a montage of like us playing games with examples of good art direction, just to prove we're not snobs, right? Like,
no, I think anybody who's played at least Dark Souls 1, even if not this game, can understand that these areas just don't have anywhere near the amount of personality that its predecessor did. What? So let's talk about something you mentioned specifically when going through Blighttown and Dark Souls Remastered. All the ladders had torches on them, on the top and bottom.
they did. This is so that you can, A, navigate, because there's light, a source of light for you to see, but B, every time you see a torch, you can go, a ladder. Right? You know that there is a ladder every time you see a source of light. That's very clever signposting.
Isn't it?
I don't really... This area doesn't really have signposting?
No.
At all? Have we spoken about what signposting is on camera at all?
I mean, I think it's a general concept at this point. Lots of people probably know what it is, but, you know, give us a shot if you want.
So signposting in level design is the practice of placing landmarks, and landmarks is a very broad term. Landmark can mean anything from sources of light, differentiations in texture. So like, there's a green splat on this wall, or there's a red splat on that wall. And ultimately the goal is to create landmarks that aid the player in mapping out an area in their mind, helping them navigate it by giving them something recognizable to use. And that's the thing. The torches on the ladders in Blighttown, in Dark Souls 1, are very clever signposting, because A, they, within the context of the world, they make sense, but B, they functionally let you know where all the ladders are just by looking off in the distance.
Yeah.
Which helps you navigate the area, because there's a lot of verticality in Blighttown, so those ladders are basically how you get around. Oh, that's interesting. So poison staggers you in Dark Souls 2.
Yes.
Like,
it
literally
does.
makes you recoil from it. I don't know what gets rid of poison. Is it poison moss? But yeah, there's a lot of verticality, so knowing where all the ladders are at a glance is really useful and helps you navigate that area. Even if you're not aware that you're doing it, you'll be forming a map in your mind of what is where.
Right.
This area, I mean, you know, I'm learning it as I go, but it really doesn't have that. There really aren't any landmarks where I can go. Like, these bridges, I suppose, serve as landmarks. In a way.
In a way. Not particularly useful ones.
The torches here that you manually light serve as landmarks once they're lit, but you have to actually light them for them to work. But anyway, I've digressed. That's what signposting is. You're basically trying to tell your player, here is an important thing, or here's a thing that you can look at to figure out where you're going to go next. And it's kind of a really important thing in game design. Oh hey, there's meat on the wall here. And it's also a very understated thing in game design. A lot of people, like, if signposting is working, you won't notice it, right?
Right.
Valve. If you ever played a Valve game with the developer commentary,
Oh, my finger slipped. Darn.
which is a feature they haven't included in all. Have they included it in all of their games? I don't even remember.
The developer commentary?
Yes, the developer commentary. They have? Okay. If you've ever played, like, specifically where I learned about it was the Half-Life 2 developer commentary stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because they talked about using light sources as a way to direct the player's vision. They use light sources to tell you where to go next. Which is very smart because, you know, light sources definitely draw the eye.
They do. Alright, are you at the bonfire by any chance?
No. Good grief, no.
Okay.
I'm... Oh! Never mind, I am.
Oh, the, second bonfire?
Yeah, the second bonfire, completely by accident.
Alright, well, good work. Come back to the first bonfire and help me through. My finger slipped off my controller as I jumped.
Alright.
Because apparently the rubber cover has worn down all the way.
Alrighty. I'll be there in just a moment.
I've just noticed that. Also, wow, it's very uneven.
There's a sconce right next to a bonfire here. That's pretty funny. Alright, I'm moving to that first bonfire. So, while I was waiting to be summoned, I noticed something that I do quite like about this area.
Oh, okay.
I can't hear it as a phantom, but that lovely squeaking noise as you walk on the wood in this area?
Oh, you mean the same thing they had in Dark Souls 1?
Yes. that's... I mean, the actual sound is different as far as I know. I don't quite remember it sounding like that in Dark Souls 1. Oh, let me go light my torch.
Yeah, please do.
Can I light my torch at the bonfire as a phantom?
You should be able to.
I can. Yeah.
Yeah, there's actually a sconce over here I forgot to light.
Yeah. So... yeah, that wonderful squeaking noise is actually some very good sound design. And you know, there's been some pretty good sound design in this game. The sound mixing has not been good, though.
No. Oh, is this guy always here?
Yeah. I can't quite hit him. He's always here, I just fell down the first time.
Right.
Yeah.
Which means this unexplored territory.
Certainly is.
That man has a dark sword.
Like it's literally dark, or it is a dark sword?
Oh, it's
Might want to bring it back my way.
Oh, yeah, where did you go, Skell?
I dropped down to the bridge.
Wish you
'cause I thought
hadn't.
we were going. Yeah, I wish I had too. I most assuredly should not have dropped down. I'm not one of them mind readers, you know.
What? Thanks, sweet spot mechanic.
I should actually probably also do that.
These guys over here have dark infused swords, which is... They deal an amount of damage that is large. The other zombies just have their stupid hands. And yup, there goes another item. It wasn't going to be anything good, but... you know, it's the principle of the matter.
Was that a poison shooter tied up?
Yes. It is...
I mean...
it is tied up as if it were on a gallows.
I'll give them that one. I will give them that one. That one's okay. So we drop down here, I suppose?
Yeah, just be careful.
When am I ever not?
All the time. Let's see. Yeah, the thing about the gutter is, like, it's very large, and there's not a ton in it.
What are you talking about? It's full of zombies and poison shooters.
It sure is. But, like, speaking of landmarking, it's very, very hard to remember where to go, simply because there's so little in it. It's not like, oh yeah, and once I get to that part, it's like, okay, so once I get to the platform with the big zombie dog, which one? Once I get to the bridge with the petrified dude on it, which one? And I guess trash just comes in pillars now?
They've sort of got a weird effluvia thing going on. Honestly, I'll grant the trash pillars a point for being pretty cool in terms of conceptual design, right?
I guess. Alright, now let's go down here.
Like, we've talked about how the art direction in Dark Souls has much imagination. I mean, at least the trash pillars are imaginative.
Oh, fuck.
Just to be safe.
Sorry, my character model was blocking that other zombie. And I didn't see him until it was a little too late.
Understandable. So, since we've been playing the remaster, not that we want to bring up too many comparisons to that, that more than we have to, at least, right?
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk about the fact that this game does have one thing over the original version and the remaster. You can share torchlight with phantoms.
Yes, you
Ow.
can. Proper real-time lighting for everybody. Dark Souls 1, of course, only had 2 items that cast light, being the skull lantern from the necromancers in the catacombs and the sunlight maggot in Lost Izalith.
And you only ever needed them for one area.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we did before mention that this game is certainly a fine and capable video game.
Oh, absolutely.
It certainly did, on a technical level, improve upon the game it came after. It just not in, like, you know, a creative level. Did it elevate the product?
No, not really. And look,
So,
some more light context.
Mhm.
Some pigs or something.
I pointed them out just before. Yeah, that's something. I'd like to know where they got those pigs from.
Well, let's take it one step at a time.
Yeah. I mean, you know, much like Dark Souls, in Blighttown, the Goblin Men, it was implied that they either eat each other or the dogs that you encounter.
Yeah. Or just wayward travelers.
Yeah. Because you find plenty of bodies stacked up or hanged, I suppose is more grammatically correct.
I can't tell you if they were hung or not, but... Oops. Oh, at least you got it. So yeah, this area just kind of keeps going. It's an issue that I think is most apparent here, but is definitely a problem with Dark Souls 2 as a whole. And that is the idea that an area has one trick, and it uses that trick immediately, and then has nothing left for the rest of the area.
There's no more real surprises, except for the gotcha booby traps that they establish. Can this thing be harmed by swords?
It can be. So, like, this is a big
Bug?
bug of some kind. It's good for you. It's not bad.
Man, QA were really slacking off when they did this area, huh?
Yeah, these jets of bug vapor, they do something beneficial for you.
Do they?
I forget what. It, like, cures
They probably
something.
clear poison.
And I can't remember if the bug is blocking a path. It doesn't look like it is. So, I'm just gonna leave it alone.
Why is it here? What does it eat? What were the zombies doing around it? Were they helping it? Or what were the bugs? Sorry, they're not zombies. The weird fungus bugs. I suppose they
Yeah.
were helping it. Why?
Yeah, what, like, was this area supposed to have more large bugs? Was the gutter infested by weird bugs? Well, I don't know. We've only got the one to look at.
It's infested by bug.
Yeah. I mean, if this bug was in my house, I'd just leave it and be like, okay. Bug. Gone. See ya.
It's the bug's house now.
So I feel odd comparing this to other poison areas in whole, because it's not the poison area, the poison area is Earthen Peak and Harvest Valley, but it's also an area you'll come to soon.
Well, this is very obviously Blight Town without the Blight part of it, just the rubbish part.
Yeah.
You know what? That probably ties into talking about how areas tend to be one-trick ponies in this game. It's half of Blight Town. It's the rickety wooden half. The poison half was elsewhere. Oh, that wall's breakable. That's how you're supposed to... Okay.
Yeah, what'd you get?
Okay, so there's one section of rickety wooden wall that is breakable.
Right, that's right. I knew it was around the corner.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, look, I love how they have some dirt down here.
Well, you can't have a bonfire if it's not on dirt.
Why not? Like, this is very silly looking. Like, they have these bedrolls that are... I wouldn't sleep on those wooden slats. Why not just extend this wall and have it have a little shelf? Put the bonfire there.
We were literally on a stone cave shelf just before.
Yeah. It has precedent. And,
So actually, this is something I was never quite clear on in Dark Souls 1, and I want to ask,
Okay.
right? So, my understanding of a bonfire is that a bonfire or bonfires in an area require a firekeeper to burn.
Mm-hmm.
A firekeeper is consumed by infinite humanity, creating some sort of weird humanoid abomination that maintains the bonfires and allows them to burn and be used by other undead for various purposes. So does every bonfire need a firekeeper?
So, the way I understood it is that bonfires in Dark Souls lore, I said the L word, are connections to the first flame. Which is what separates them from just like any old campfire.
Yeah.
As far as needing a firekeeper, because you do find bonfires that are near firekeepers. You know, the Firelink, Daughters of Chaos, Anne Orlando, and...
Well, that's the thing. It was my understanding that all of the bonfires in the first Dark Souls are linked to at least one of the various firekeepers that inhabit the world. So anyone that you could reinforce your Estus Flask at in that game is a firekeeper, right? And it was my understanding that not necessarily just the one that is adjacent to them, but all the bonfires in their respective zones are maintained by those firekeepers.
Mm-hmm.
That was the way I had always chosen to interpret it. I don't know how backed up that is by the law. But I bring it up because I have to wonder, right, what is keeping this bonfire here going?
I don't know. In all of Dark Souls 2, we only see one firekeeper, and that is the level up lady.
The Emerald Herald, yeah.
Well, we'll leave you, fair viewers, with that question to ponder. It's been an odd sort of video.
It has. It really has.
We'll come back next time with the rest of this. So until then, see you later. Thanks for watching.
Farewell.